Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Robert Watson, an English teacher at Wise English in Da Nang, Vietnam. I hope you managed to join us last week for our first video in the series about the importance of listening to your success on the test. This week we'll be talking about speaking, especially part 1 speaking. So, the first skill you need to master for the IELTS speaking test is also the first skill you need when you meet a new person or when you interview for a job, namely introducing yourself. Imagine if all I told you about me was, I'm Robert, I'm a teacher, I'm from the US. That's all true, but you could learn that from a piece of paper. To do a better job of introducing ourselves, we need to answer questions directly and then provide more details and explain our answer. Today we'll discuss a simple strategy for doing that on part 1 of the speaking test. And as we think about expanding our answer, remember the British Council's top tips for how to succeed on your speaking test. Number 1, try to talk as much as you can. Number 2, try to talk as fluently as you can and be spontaneous. Number 3, develop your answers. Notice how the tips focus on you speaking more and the examiner speaking less. If you don't say enough, then your score will be low. So, how can you go beyond short answers to simple questions about yourself, your studies, your work, your home, your family, your hobbies? First, organize your answer with a simple structure. 1, 2, stop. Number 1, answer the question directly. Is it a yes/no question? Then say yes or no right away. Is it an information question? Who, what, when, where, why, how? If it is, then give the information the examiner is asking for directly. So if the question is, do you prefer spending time with family or friends? You need to choose one or the other. Saying something like, I love my family and friends does not answer the question. Second, do not answer the questions with 1 or 2 words. This is a conversation. You need to explain or add details to your answer. If the examiner asks you, do you work or do you study? Instead of just saying, I'm a student, tell the examiner something important about your studies. For example, I'm a 3rd-year student at the University of Da Nang, majoring in international business and Japanese. I'll be graduating in June of this year. By adding a couple details, you've also answered some follow-up questions. Where do you study? What do you study? If you answer the question directly and add a few details, that will be plenty for part 1, about 15 to 20 seconds maximum. You should then stop and allow the examiner to move on to the next question. So now you know what you need to do. How can you practice this? Well, by developing your small talk skills. Small talk is simple, short, basic conversation about anything and everything, from the weather, to traffic, to sports, to what you had for lunch. Take a look at the link that we posted down below the video, and you'll see a board game full of topics for small talk. Why not print out the board game and practice it with a few friends using the 1, 2, stop structure that we've discussed today? When you're done with the topics on the board game, why not keep going and add a few more of your own? One last question. How often do you practice speaking in English? I hope part of your answer is every day. Thanks again for watching, and stay tuned for next week's top tips on reading. Remember to subscribe and give us a like. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next week.